it, darling. You did it again. The giblet gravy and the stuffing and the pie. Best Christmas dinner ever.
John, you say that every year.
Well, maybe I do.
I'm sure that every year he's right.
It was a huge success. Even Patrick enjoyed himself. He had a ball.
Do you suppose there's any connection between the good mood Pat was in and the fact that he's going to see Faith after he gets off duty?
Oh, no.
Not much.
Is anybody beside me worried about which piece of furniture Little John's going to attack with that hammer next?
Here you go, kiddo.
Lordy,
Why don't we
lordy.
Sad, isn't it?
postpone the hammering and nailing for a while?
My heavens, Betsy.
And why don't we work on something else? How about these?
Hey, those are nice toys.
Yeah.
John, how about work on a movie
Right
here,
up
okay?
Sometimes I wonder where Delia's mind is that she could pick a toy like that for a 4-year-old.
I don't know. She's probably too busy with her investments to do any thinking at all, if you ask me.
John, it's Christmas.
All right.
Isn't he wonderful?
Yeah.
Hey, I told you how grateful I am to be included here today.
Have we told you how much we love having you here?
Oh, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
You know, I called my mother to wish her a Merry Christmas, and I must say, she was impressed with Senator-elect Ryan, but being a mother, she was more concerned that I might be spending Christmas alone. And, can I help? And she was so pleased to hear that I was going to be spending it with you.
Well, we are pleased, too.
Go on. You know, this is just the kind of family I always dreamed of growing up in. You are a very lucky young man. You know that? And you know something else? When we're through here, I have a surprise for you over at my house. She's so tiny.
Yes. Oh, I hope you haven't gotten carried away with any kind of present.
No. I promise, Nave. I learned my lesson. No more trucks by the dozen. I have one discreet item of clothing, and that's it, really.
I wish Dee could have thought that way. She thinks Christmas is some kind of competition. She must have bought out a toy department somewhere.
Well, Ryan didn't do too badly either, thanks to her father.
Yeah. Well, I know what it's like to only have one present on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
I'm glad Ryan doesn't have to go through that.
Hey, you're okay. You're very lucky, Mayor.
Thanks. I know.
This has really been a great day. Why don't we all try and remember this moment, because the feelings are so good.
Oh, yes, may we have many more Christmases like it.
Ah, that sounds wonderful. What do you say, Little John?
It's fine, except one of us has got to leave and go to work.
Oh, sweetheart.
I'll get it.
Are you playing with that little one?
Yeah.
Build us a cabin.
Come on.
Little log cabin.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, dear. Why don't you join us, Delia?
Hey, Dee, let me take your coat, huh?
No, thanks. I'll keep it on for a while.
Oh, well, then, sit down. I'll get us all select, Doc.
Yes, we're just up from the table.
Yeah. Having overindulged in food and wine and dessert.
Yes.
Yeah, Johnny, I know what Maeve's meals are like on Christmas.
Hey, all right.
Thank you.
Roger and I went to a big hotel. They specialize in holiday dinners. It's very good, really.
Yeah.
I bet it was.
And I just want to come back and see little John. How do you like his presents?
Oh, how could he fail, darling? There were so many of them.
Although, we wondered what you had in mind by buying him that junior carpentry kit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Take one.
Christmas is Christ's birthday, and Christ was a carpenter. It seemed appropriate to me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Frank, why don't you finish this? I've got to go.
Drive safe.
Is she at home, huh?
Okay.
Oh, so sorry you have to go to work.
You want to kiss everybody? Merry Christmas.
Yes. Kiss, kiss.
It's good seeing you, Mary.
Am I, sweetheart?
Bye, Doc.
See you soon.
I feel guilty.
Well, you should.
Don't work too hard, sweetheart.
No, I'll call you later
Oh, we
tonight.
can't go to Channel 1.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Oh, thank you, Johnny.
quite all right. Hey, my dear. Night, night. Night, night, Mommy.
Bye-bye, man.
Little John, Guess what Uncle Roger is doing right this minute?
What?
He's making popcorn, and we're gonna have a Christmas party over at our house.
Oh, dear, I don't think that's exactly convenient.
Will I have some more Christmas presents for him?
What, more presents, Dee?
Sure.
Well, dear, I'm afraid you're just going to have to give them to him at another time.
Dee, I think what everyone is trying to say is that I had already made plans for little John this afternoon.
What are you talking about? What plans?
Well, I'm sure
Well,
we can work something out, dear. I mean, maybe he can come over tomorrow for a
No,
visit.
I don't want to see him tomorrow. I don't like waiting either. I really don't.
Well, maybe some more eggnog.
Jack, don't do that, okay? It's her, isn't it?
Yes, Ray has some Christmas planned for little John at her place, yes.
Yes, I'm sure she does. She probably has a house full of very expensive toys. Whole army of little toy soldiers, huh?
Not exactly.
I do not want my son bought by this woman.
Oh, Dee, for heaven's sake, do we have to go into this with little John in the room?
Oh, I see. Ray has bought Frank and gotten all of you in the bargain. I do not want this woman buying my son.
I find that a remarkable accusation.
All right, little John, let's go on in. Settle you down in your own room.
That's right.
And we can
Watch
play with
those
those
TV or
electric
something.
trains.
Oh, Ryan, let's go watch little John, huh? Come on, let's go.
As I understand it, you haven't been exactly restrained in your own Christmas shopping this year.
Just trying to fight fire with fire.
Well, it so happens that you've made a mistake. In my apartment under my tree, there is one small present for little John. It is a sweater, and I doubt that even you could find that extravagant.
One sweater, that's all. Just one sweater.
That's it.
That's very smart. Doesn't anybody else see? Don't you understand she's pretending she's using little John?
Look, now I realize that the holidays are times that are very hectic and all our emotions get heightened, but do we really have to go through this
Yes,
now?
we do, and my emotions are in a very heightened state. Frank, are you blind? Don't you understand she's trying to mother up to little John? She's trying to be maternal so you'll marry her?
Okay, Dee, now thank you for the insights. Now, could you sit down
No,
and be
it's true,
quiet?
Frank. It's
Wait
true.
a minute. I think Frank knows me better than that, and as far as little John is concerned...
As far as little John is concerned, you just love him to pieces, don't you?
Now, Dee...
Wait a minute. Yes, I do love him. He is a very appealing child, and it is not hard to love him. And no matter what you may think of me, I'm not so callous that I can't love a small child, all right?
You're faking. Every word of it. Can't you people see? You want Frank to make an honest woman out of you, and you would do anything, wouldn't you?
Dee, Ray happens to be a guest in our house.
Maeve, would you excuse me, please? I think I'll go find some of those small cookies.
Yes, there's some downstairs on the kitchen table.
Wait a minute. Where is my little boy?
Now, that will be enough, Delia. Dee, what is it with you? You enjoy that? You get some sort of satisfaction out of being cruel?
I am fighting for my child.
He happens to be our child, okay, Dee? And it also happens that I made plans for him prior to you walking in that door.
Now,
That's all.
I have every right to see my son on Christmas Day.
Of course you do, and you saw him, but it was my impression that you were more concerned about picking a fight with Ray than you were with being with little John.
Johnny, Maeve, you are not going to let little John go off with that woman.
Dear, we will do whatever is good for the boy.
Well, that isn't good for him. She doesn't care about him. She's just using him.
Dee, would you mind not saying that again?
Dee, let me make one comment about Ray. For as long as I've known her, she has never been anything but kind and considerate to me and to every member of my family. And it might interest you to know she has never spoken a bad word about you.
She looks down her nose at me, and everybody knows that.
Dee, she doesn't say that you're childish. She doesn't say that you're selfish or that you're indulging in some sort of beautiful love affair with yourself. She isn't saying that you're not fit to raise little John. Although the truth is you couldn't begin to cope with him even if you had him.
That's not true. I raised him. His first year, I raised him.
With my mother's constant help, Dee, and you barely managed that. Now, right now, little John is he's a well-adjusted little boy. And I don't think he owes much of that to you.
You're not going to take him away from me, Frank.
Dee,
You are
I'm
not going to do
trying
it.
to take him away from you.
Francis, would you come out into the hall with me for a minute, please?
Oh, now you're trying to gang up on me. Is that it?
No, Dee, it is nothing like that at all. you'll excuse us for a moment, please.
Hold that for me, would you please?
Dee, would you please come back and sit down a minute?
I am right. All of you are on Frank's side. Nobody's on my side.
Delia, I think that Maeve and Johnny want to do what is right for little John.
Johnny's not right for little John.
Francis, let her take him.
What?
Please, I can't go into it now. There's too much going on.
Now what am I supposed to do about Ray? This is...
Explain it to her, dear. I have an idea.
What idea?
I can't go into it now. If we stay out of the room too long, she'll think we're up to something. Please, just trust me.
Sure.
Okay, now go in and talk to her and use your political thing. Go on. Go on.
Dee, I'm sorry. I talked it over with Ma. And she pointed out that after all, it is Christmas, and you are little John's mother. He can go with you to Rogers.
Okay. Very good. I'm going to put little John into a snowsuit before anybody else changes their mind. Excuse me.
Well, how did that happen?
Now, shh. Sometimes you're just too smart for your own good, young lady.
Excuse me for a minute.
All right, dear.
Oh, I'd like to know just how much this little John understands.
Well, probably much more than we think he understands.
Well, he's been all right up until now. And we have to see to it that he stays that way.
Hey, Ray.
Hi.
I'm sorry about all that.
Wasn't your fault. Nothing you could have done.
Well, it was vintage Delia, and everybody knew it.
Funny thing is, it's not, being accused in front of everybody that bothers me so much. It's just that now that every time I go to put my arms around little John, I'm going to wonder if you're wondering that if I'm being manipulative.
Hey, I know you care about little John.
Do you, really?
Yes.
Your parents, do they believe, Delia, that I'd just do anything to get you to marry me?
Of course they don't.
I do care, I mean, I love them and I value their opinion and... Oh, Frank, the idea that they might be thinking of me as some kind of predatory female
Ray,
is just...
Stop it. Predator. They don't. They don't, and I don't.
I have given as much as I've gotten. I haven't just been a taker.
You've been wonderful. You've given me more than I could ever repay you for.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There is one thing, though. Before we go back up, Mom made the suggestion that we let Delia take little John today. Okay, now
Ooh,
come
I
on.
see.
Now, come on now. It isn't any kind of preference thing. She just has some sort of idea, okay? Hey, come on, huh?
Sure. Sure, of course. I wouldn't fight with your mother. It's fine.
Good. Ready to go back up?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for making it all better.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Are you up to a visitor?
Hello, Mary. It's good to see you.
Oh, thanks. How you feeling?
I'm better.
Brought you a piece of seed cake. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to be on my way to work, but it's Christmas and I couldn't bear you up here all alone.
Ah, that's the Ryan heart triumphing over everything. Oh, it's wonderful.
Oh.
It's like being home again.
I'll tell Ma.
I'd appreciate that. Mary, tell me about Faith. How is she?
Well, she's just fine.
That's good. I wish I understood everything that happened. I'm not trying to avoid my responsibility. Clearly, I tried to kill her when we were up in the country.
We don't understand it either, Tom.
And now I'm wondering about the accidents back at the house before we left.
You mean the fire and the fall from the staircase?
Did I cause those too? I could have.
Don't you know?
Well, Seneca says that I'm having some kind of seizures, and I don't remember anything afterwards.
What kind of seizures?
He didn't say. I don't think he knows, but what bothers me most is that I've harmed the one person that I love more than anything else in the whole world. And apparently I'm still trying to hurt her. 2 days ago, I was lying in bed. Now I'm sure of that. The next thing I remember is standing beside Faith's bed. She's trying to get away from me and screaming at the top of her voice.
And you don't remember going into her room?
No. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's, horrible.
How can I be doing these things?
I wish I knew.
In spite of everything, she's still the most important person in my life. At least she's all right.
Yeah. She was suffering from exhaustion and exposure, but a few days in the hospital and she's just fine.
She's home?
Yeah, she's taking it easy.
Well, I hope she isn't alone on Christmas Day. Someone should be with her.
I know. I'm sure she isn't alone.
Have you seen her today?
No, but I talked to her on the phone, and she'd slept late and was looking forward to a lovely day. And, I know that people will be dropping by.
Seneca and Jill.
On Christmas Day, of course.
And Roger's right in the house. He'd be there if she needed anything.
Tom, you don't have to worry about her. I know that she's well taken care of. What's important is that we find out what's wrong with you.
What happens to me doesn't matter. What's important now is that Faith is well and happy. That's the only thing that means anything to me now.
Well, little John is all ready to go with his mommy.
Well, then you run along, darling. And guess what? When you get over there, Roger is going to have all that popcorn waiting for you.
You have a good time.
Me? I promise you, I'm not going to keep him that long. I won't give him too many sweets, and I won't spoil him.
Well, we'll see you then. Bye.
Yeah,
Enjoy yourself, little John.
Oh, he will. This will be the best Christmas that he's ever had.
Yes. And Merry Christmas to you.
And Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas to you, Dee.
Christmas, little John.
All right, darling.
Arrivederci.
All right.
I'll see you in a little bit. Dear Lord. I thought you'd never get him ready.
Would you mind, please, telling me what you were talking to Frank about in the hall a little while ago?
John, I just have a little idea, which has nothing to do with the Christmas spirit, I'm sorry to say. Oh, doesn't it seem strange sitting here on Christmas? And just one little one and all the rest all grown.
Well, you could pretend that we were all 5 years old inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that'd be just about right.
Well, all the same. I do miss not having the 5 of you little people around the table. Those were the days.
Oh, Daddy, you're being sentimental.
All right.
You know what pops into my head whenever I think of Christmas?
No, what?
That my wings always fell off.
Oh,
Do you remember? Every Thanksgiving, I would begin to dread the Christmas pageant at St. Aloysius. For some reason, I always ended up being an angel. I think they figured that it would inspire me to change character, you know?
It didn't work.
Well, anyway, somewhere between the dressing room and the stage, my wings would always, like, sag, droop, or entirely fall off. And you guys loved it.
Well, it was funny.
Being an angel just didn't come naturally to her.
Well, I was not the one who wore sneakers under my robe as altar
Now,
boy.
wait a minute. I was partial to white bucks, too.
No. It took you all a few years to arrive at your present state of perfection. Your sneakers And your aged wings are just part of the memories that your father and I have that we hold very dear in our hearts. And all those seemingly inconsequential things that we chided you about, changing your shoes to serve Mass and not fiddling with those delicate wings, are just some small ways that we had of putting you on the right path.
I see. Sort of the basic concept of if we could deal with small upheavals, we'd be better at handling the larger ones.
Yes.
You two ought to retire while you're ahead.
No, we can't do that, Jack. We're not old enough for that, are we,
No.
darling? No, in our twilight years, we're going to sit back and revel in the satisfaction that all our children, sons and daughters all, are wending their way toward their own happiness and contentment.
Right.
Aren't we?
Right.
Every weekend, girls just want to have fun. It's Gilmore Girls on SoapNet. Catch back-to-back episodes of one of TV's most popular shows. Saturday nights at 9 and Sundays at 6. Gilmore Girls on SoapNet.